Hey, my head told me to wipe on the cup and you know.
Niggas ain't fucking That's familiar. What's going on? Aisha Education, Unk Murder in the Beef Sector. Tracy. Hey, Tracy. You on 3 Lives? It's cool. I know you be working. Hey, Bree. What's going on? Hey, Robbie. It's it's Bose, Bree. It's a Bose system. And then I got the little speaker. They all connect to each other. I just got it sitting right here. So thank you all for coming back to Run It Back. This is our 5th episode, and it's featuring Timothy Blaine. And I completely made a flub because when I sent him over the format of the show, the time, the date, and all that, I didn't put Eastern time. I just put the time expecting that he would know that I was on the East Coast. Why would I do that? So he sent me an email asking me if it was 7:30 his time or 7:30 my time. So I replied to him. So I'm hoping he gets that message. Carrie Ray, you Gucci. But until then, I want to actually show y'all. Like, I actually really do. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I have like a whole freaking show format. Like, it's all formatted, segment by segment, commentary, point by point. And I'm saying that because since I've been doing this show, I've realized that there are people who have intentionally been trying to secure some of the guests that I have on my show and some of the guests that I have had on the show. And they have been pretty strategic about it in terms of trying to sway people from coming and interviewing and not interviewing, but coming over and enjoying the show. So what I've decided to do, and let me just add myself to the screen. Hey, y'all, I just got off of work, so bear with me. So what I've decided to do is I'm no longer going to be sharing who's coming on the show. So there won't be no more teasers with the actual name of the person. And I don't know if I'm going to share the topic idea, but I'll put a teaser out Sunday night like I typically do, but I won't be sharing about who it's going to be, about what the idea is going to be. Again, I'm going to starve you. So I understand it's about, shutting me down, but I'm going to starve you on any ideas I have over here or what's going on my channel. It's pathetic of any content creator in the beef sector who's trying to, kind of rain on my parade or shun on my parade. So for that matter, you will see that the teasers that come out after this show will not have a guest on it. It will just have a question mark, special guest, surprise. You'll be surprised. Just come through Wednesday. And I don't know yet if I want to share the topics anymore because, again, it's been a little bit disheartening. I received an email from someone who I had planned to have on the show for an idea that another content creator hit them up and asked them to come and talk about the same thing. And it was very, very disheartening. And I told the other content creator, thank you for letting me know. You can, choose your, I'm not holding anyone hostage. Do what you have to do. But I see you. And I won't say your name. It's because it's a few of you all. I won't say your names, but know that people are sending me emails. So everyone's been sending me emails about all of the Zooms that have been occurring, and I've been mentioned in, and all of the people who've been having something to say about what King Roman is over here doing. And it's like, I don't have nothing to say about you. I don't have nothing to say about anybody who's doing their thing. So, like, for the time being, just let me rock out. So I wanted to make sure I made that announcement. First, let me just thank you all. Thank my co-host. Co-host is the entire chat. So the entire chat is the co-host. The co-host and my mods. Y'all are the subscribers of the Beef Sector. You guys are the co-host of this show. It's not just me by myself. That's why I started the Slido, so that we can all be able to run this show and have you all have some input. So when I say thank you, co-host, I'm talking to you all. Thank you, subscribers, and thank you, guests who comes on the show. And thank you all who are eager to be a part of it. Now, I don't want you all to think that I don't have people lined up. We have some really good people lined up and some really good topics. I just have to be more mindful. And Rick Reed told me this a long time ago to stop sharing my ideas, but me being naive, but now I know. I wanted to let you all know we have 6 more shows to go. 4 of them going to be with guests. One show is going to be a recap of all 10 shows, and then the other one will be a reunion. So I'm working hard to try to get a reunion show where I bring all the guests who came on all 10 episodes together once, and we all discuss some of the backlash, some of the, what's going on. I am in the process of looking for a sponsor for that show, so that way I can get all of those guests paid. It may not be nothing huge, but I think it's a great way to sort of start getting some good sponsors to build into the sector. And then maybe that sponsor might want to sponsor one of those beef sector content creators. So I'm working on that. Stay tuned for that. The last Run It Back episode will be November 17th, and then Thanksgiving, Christmas, I'm out. We're not doing nothing. I'm chilling, and then we'll be back in February with a whole rework of the show. So that's what I wanted to do. Tim, I saw you backstage. If you can come and hit the link and come backstage. So let's see what the chat is saying. Rico, you did a good job on your house. Yes, you did, Rico. I saw that. Oh, you did that on your own. Amazing. Keep it to yourself. Facts. Yeah, you popping, babe. And it's Tracy, it's so bittersweet because it makes me not even want to hop in chats and like be who I was, like, the outspoken person I was. It makes me just very cautious for the sake of this show. That's why I said I can't wait to give it up for 2 months and just go back to the chat. Ooh, I can't wait to just let off. But right now, I have to conduct myself accordingly. So for the sake of this show, and I made a commitment. I wanted to do 10 episodes, and I'm going to do 10 episodes. Y'all not gonna stop me. So Tim, hit the link. So what's the Pacific time? What's that Pacific time? Click the link again. I saw you. So tonight we are Slido polling. I want everybody to go ahead. I think they dropped the links in the link should have been dropped. If you all want to click that so I can queue up, I'll start queuing up the questions, and then this time I'll allow Q&A, but I'm going to be very, very much so monitoring that. All right. I think he's back here now. No, he's not back here. So here's the Slido polling if you guys want to go ahead and get that queued up. I'm sorry. And then also tonight is only going to be a guest prize. I'm not going to do the whole chat prize. I was very pressed for time in putting this one together. You all are very, very pressed for time. Like I literally got into the house at 7 o'clock, threw on another shirt, and now I'm in front of you with a glass of apple juice and Hennessy. So if you know that kind of mood, you know what I meant. So we're only going to do the game prizes, and we're going to do the gag gifts, and then just for this round. Here you go. All right. So without further ado, I am bringing to the stage Mr. Timothy Blaine himself.
Hello.
Hey.
How late am I? How late am I? I was doing 100 different things at the same time, and I realized, oh, he said 7:30. What does that mean to me?
I know. I was just telling the chat that I forgot to say Eastern time. I sent you just a 7:30 and 7:45 and no specific time. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay. It's okay. I appreciate so it's 4:30 here.
I want to, so before I begin, I just want to run through a little bit of what we're going to be doing tonight, just so you can have an idea and you're comfortable with it. I did send you the rundown because I didn't want you to be blindsided about anything. So we're talking age discrimination. First thing I want to do is cover some of the things and topics that we've seen across the beef sector. And I want to know whether you think that's just shade or do you think there is a little age discrimination implied there, and what your thoughts are. Then we'll move into, as soon as this moves through, expectation versus reaction. So this will be a little bit interesting. I have a few of your reactions queued up, and I'm going to ask you whether or not now you think those reactions were warranted, or you still feel justified in however you reacted to those situations. I'm a little bit nervous about that because I don't want you going off on me.
What happened? How late are we? Have you been on here a while?
No, we're 20 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're good. We're good. We're still in the 20 minutes of the beginning portion of it.
Okay.
And then after that, finally, I want to have a conversation with you about a couple of things I call extreme beefing in the beef sector and get some of your ideas and your thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good?
Okay.
All right, let's go. All right, so first up, it's called segment 1, and let's add you to the stream.
Oh, there's me.
I don't know if you guys hear my neighbor's dog.
Mine may start barking because he's supposed to go out at 4:30, and it is exactly 4:30.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm sure he can hold on.
I was gonna. Oh, all right. So we're gonna start with age discrimination. Was that shade? Chat, are you all good? Are you all good? Okay, I just want to make sure the chat is good. Everybody got the poll link. Everybody got the poll link. So what I'm gonna do is put this same question into the poll, and I want you all to answer and give me your answer, and we're gonna pair that up with what Uncle Tim is saying. All right, first question. I know you got to be familiar with this one. Biting the apple. Let me see you take a bite of an apple. Is this shade or is this being a little discriminatory?
Not only is it discriminatory, it is childish and stupid.
Wait, so you think
we're
it's
talking
discrimination?
we're talking about just Jay Wilson went on this campaign about me having dentures, and I'm 63 years old. What the fuck am I supposed to have? I mean, I'm a meth addict. Any meth addict, all you gotta do is go out the street, say, "Hey, mister, let me see your mouth." That's just goes with it, honey. So I don't know why this childish buffoon kept talking about my dentures. Is that how you respect people? So I mean, I'm a senior citizen, nigga. Most people got dentures or at work. They certainly have partials, something done in their mouth. Here's the thing that kills me about this boy. When you look at a picture 12 years ago of Jay Wilson, this first video as he was going by Dr. whatever, Wilcox, whatever, you'll see that his whole bottom mouth is different. He looks like a goddamn bulldog because his teeth overlap like that. And then they're different colors and all that. His mouth is a mess, but he has never once acknowledged that he has lived most of his life with a fucked up mouth. He spent some money and got the bottom teeth fixed, right? Because, and when you see in that first video, he doesn't even show the top one, so God knows what that was.
So, right. Well, I feel so biting the apple because I've heard several content creators also say that to other content creators who weren't necessarily older, and they, for whatever reasons in their lives, they may not have, you know, full their entire set of teeth in their mouth. So I've heard them say it to each other, like, you can't bite an apple. So in my mind, I don't feel like it's discriminatory. I feel like it's like shade, but I could see how you would feel like it's shade.
It's childish. It's childish. From a 52-year-old man, a 52-year-old man, bite the apple. Let me see you bite the apple. Because he has nothing to come back with. So he comes back with these infantile, supposed to be reeds. I ain't no goddamn reeds, nigga. I was glad when they said unto me, come pick them up. Yeah.
So
bad thing to me. I'm so surprised. I'm so sorry that this nigga don't enjoy my mouth. But why is this whole in my? Why'd you like this in my life, honey? You ain't supposed to be looking in my goddamn mouth. I don't want you. We have nothing in common, nigga.
So now Uncle Tim, I want you to know all 109 people in the chat are voting on a poll currently, and the poll is currently saying that 52% is saying that when folks are saying biting the apple, it's just shade. It's not discriminatory.
It's not discriminatory. What do you mean? You talking about people's dental work?
Well, because I don't think it's dental work. I think it's just a shade that's coming at the mouth. Because like I don't know if y'all can see, I'm missing my tooth right there. Someone can tell me to bite the apple. I wouldn't say that's discriminating on my age. That's discriminating on a physical feature of me.
But I'm on your mouth. Why is he all up in your mouth? I mean, how childish can you get? Those are the kind of reads I did when I was 12 years old. This is the kind of thing we talked about people's teeth. Oh, look at Mr. We talk about the teachers, of course. The teachers are a little older. We talk about their teeth. Oh, got a space in the teeth. Got a space in the teeth. Oh, look at his fat belly. Just, I mean, it's childish. It is childish. It is stupid. I am reading this boy on a much higher level than Bite the Apple. I find that to be childlike.
And so you don't think the beef sector is sort of childlike?
I think there are various ages on the beef sector. There are all kind of ages. I think it's difficult for a man in his 60s to try to debate or argue or beef with somebody in their 30s. I would think that by 30 years old, you should be a grown man. I should be able to talk to you like you were a grown man. It's not like, oh, the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and all that. At 30 years old, you should be mature enough to have a mature conversation. What happened was I went after that boy so many times that he had no comebacks for me. So he went to the lowest down, just this little childish type of reads. I bite the apple, I bite the apple. No, I think he's bitten too many apples is the issue.
Okay. So I think we're in a disagreement. I think you think it's a little immature to be using those kind of reads on someone.
I think it's very immature. It's childlike.
And I just think it's like shade, par for the course. Oh, I forgot to tell everyone. I didn't know I'm monetized. Thank you, Troy Allen. I appreciate you. You're the first super chat I've ever received. So I'm monetized. I don't know if you guys have been seeing like the ads and stuff, but I want to thank you. I want to thank my co-host and my guest and everybody for the support. So I forgot. See how it slips my mind, monetization. All right. So the next point is age discrimination. Literature criticism. Timothy Blaine can't write. Now, someone...
Wait a minute. Hold the hell on, honey. So who is determining I can't write?
I have to put this in context. I'm gonna put it in context for you. So whenever like someone reads your book who might be considered in opposition to you, they may preface, critiquing your book by saying things like he can't write or he misspelled this word or he needs to get an editor.
Do you feel like those from the Prime Minister and the QB? That has got nothing to do with somebody actually reviewing a book. They came up with that bullshit. How in the hell are you going to read a book? You going to read a goddamn book in 35 minutes? They didn't read my book with a critical eye. They only went there to be nasty and to say horrible things about me. I take it very personally, and we get back to this respectful thing. How dare a pig who's never written even a damn letter in their whole life going to criticize my writing when I know good and I'm trying to control my... Are you allowed to cuss on here?
Free reign. You're free reign over here.
Okay. How dare somebody who's never written anything try to critique my work and tell me I can't write when they ain't never wrote shit, and my writing is wonderful, honey. I stand by my writing, but my writing is me. It is my voice. If you don't appreciate my voice, then I suggest you not read my books, which they ain't never read none of them, honey. So that was just plain old vicious nastiness, right? They got all together. They can go and say mean things. In fact, they're over there right now, fake doxing somebody, girl, so they can talk about somebody else's house. Now, how can you be online talking about somebody's house, a 9-bedroom house? You're sitting in a 1-bedroom apartment and you're criticizing somebody who you say has a 9-bedroom house. That's what they do, honey. That's what they do. So no, that's bullshit. As far as Timothy Blaine can't write, I suggest you read my books before you have an opinion about if I can write. And then ask those people, have you ever read a book? Just ask me.
You're going off. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. You're number 2. The reason I was saying this is because do you feel as if people are, because I mean, there's tons of authors, there's tons of other content creators who are authors, and
anybody can write. Anybody can write.
Do you feel like criticizing? Do you feel like criticizing your literature is only to diminish you because of your age? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, because you're older and you're writing books, do you think it's talking about like you can't write or you can't misspell or your perspective is not as clear? Do you feel like that's a form of discriminating on you based on your age, or you just think it's shade?
No, it's just messy.
It's just messy.
Just messy, jealous ass, stupid ass people. If you don't know about a subject, honey, if you don't know about something, you need to shut your goddamn mouth. That QB monster, He went on there and stole my intellectual property. Because when you read a person's book online, you need their permission to read their writing, right? He got no permission from me. All he did was went there and made 9 videos. Each chapter, he made a different video, cashed in on my work, which he's criticizing. And at the end of that time, he took lighter fluid and he put it on a barbecue and he burned my book. If they could get their hands on this one, they would have burned it as well. These are nasty, filthy people. No respect whatsoever. So when you talk about age discrimination, I'm just talking about the lack of respect. The lack of respect is where the age comes in. No respect whatsoever.
Thank you, Dirty Church Shoes. I really appreciate that. Oh my God. I'm over here fanning out.
Oh
okay.
Yeah, y'all support the brother.
I'm over here fanning out right now. This is new for me. So I'm sitting over here like, what is going on? So, okay. All right. I think that I want to just let you know the poll is saying that any criticism of your literature is not necessarily age discrimination. It's just shade. And
I don't know about this word you're using, shade.
The reason I'm saying shade is because that's like a form of what the beef sector doing. So instead of saying like, a response, when y'all are going back and forth at each other, that's what I'm saying, shade, versus I'm coming at Uncle Tim about his book based on the fact of his age and, the respect level there. And you're saying, yes, that's what this is. And I think the chat is just saying, no, it's just the way it's par for course. It
is respect. It is respect.
It is respect.
You deserve respect. How old are you?
I am 33.
30s? You in your 30s? Okay. As a man, as a person, as a human being, you are worthy of respect. You don't got to be a certain age to receive respect. These people are so disrespectful. It's not because of your age. Hi there, Treasure Lane.
Oh my God, Treasure. Thank you. Oh my God, this is history. This is crazy. Okay, all right. So I want to move on to the next subject: single versus partner, 50 or older. So a lot of times, a lot of people go back and forth with you, and they, always saying like, "Oh, he's lonely, he's single, he's probably dating Sweeney." Now, there's a lot of people my age down here in the beef sector. Well, I'm not a content creator in the beef sector. Let me make sure that's clear. But there's a lot of people down here who are my age who are single, but you don't really necessarily hear he's dating Sweeney or he's only lonely and all of these things. So do you feel like talking about your partnership or your love and dating life and throwing daggers at that is a form of discrimination to your age, disrespect, or how do you view that?
Yeah, it's still disrespect. These people they got some hard lessons to learn. What you will learn in the LGBTQ community, that of all the people in those letters, gay men struggle the hardest to maintain long-term relationships. So even though when you're in your 30s and you're in your 20s and people are calling you and you go online and you got all these messages, oh, I want to hook up and all that kind of stuff, right? Having real relationships, it is hard for a 25-year-old. It is hard for a 35-year-old. I know people who have continually been looking for a partner since they were in their teens, right? So don't be amazed or surprised when a man who is now in his latter years, and he's in his 60s, most of them, I'm not being facetious. I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm not trying to be nasty, but most gay men, the ones that I know, most of the ones I know from church, most of them are single, right? So It's easy to say that when you're young and you're still dating people and so forth. But baby, that's not the whole story. So it's just a sign of their ignorance, and their ignorance brought on by their youth and inexperience. I mean, you have people like Jay Wilson. He wants to always talk, oh, I got a partner. Oh, I got a partner. What'd you say, boo? Oh, wait a minute, boo's talking. What'd you say, boo? Oh, I got a boo. Where's your boo? Where's such caca? He met that boy. He said that 2 days after he met this child. What are you calling a relationship? I have had 2 relationships in my entire life. Well, 3, 2.5, right? Most people are going to end up single. Even married couples, unless they die on the same day, at some point they're going to become single. So a lot of senior people are single. Women outlive men. So many times it is a woman who will end up single because the man will perish before her. But we still end up single oftentimes, right? So no, I am not lonely. I am not miserable. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a dog. A lot of people have a dog. They're wonderful. They're wonderful companions. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. For most of my life as a young man, I would move into apartments and they would say no dogs, no animals, right? Or I would be working and I couldn't have an animal. Or I would be doing dope and stuff. I certainly couldn't have an animal then. I wasn't responsible enough because the police could kick the door in any second, right? And then you have an animal in there by himself. So I couldn't do it then. When I retired, they don't like me to say I retired. When I stopped hustling, I was able to have a dog. And so it's a wonderful thing for me.
So the chat is saying that they think this is a form of shade. It's not really necessarily a form of disrespect towards your age or anything like that. But I understand what you were saying in terms of most older women, you know, they outlive their spouse, so they are single. So coming at them for being lonely, you know, in an older age might be sort of a form of discrimination. Am I correct? I think that's what you were saying. Like some of it is a form of discrimination because perhaps their situation
they're comparing the straight life, which is a man and a woman, and they produce children. That is a totally different experience from their homosexual life, right? We're just together because we want to be together, right? Gay marriage is, for you guys, it may seem like a long time ago, right? But it's only been around what's it been, 3-4 years, right? No. I mean, the gay experience has been a very sexual experience. So to come on here and try to now act like you are a straight person and you're expected to be in a relationship for 30 years, it's foolishness. It's ridiculous. I can't keep saying the same person's name, so I'm gonna let that example go. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being single, honey. At some point, you don't want nobody to be here. I'm just comfortable, right? I don't want to argue with nobody, right? I don't want to be wondering if somebody's cheating on me. I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't want to be bothered with people that much, right? So it's okay to be single. I'm just single, honey. And after you do it for a long time, it becomes the norm. I can't imagine now some dude walking around in his underwear behind me. No. I just can't do that at this point. If I had a relationship with someone, and we all hope that at some point we're being in some kind of relationship. I think the person would probably live away from me, you know, like that. I have a companion, sure. I don't know that I'm prepared to live with somebody at this point in my life. You can do it at 20. 20-year-olds can have 4 or 5 roommates. They don't bother them, right? But at some point, that is not acceptable. That's not the life of a person in their 50s and 60s.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. I just wanted to reiterate the poll did say that was just a form of shade, but I think
everything is shade, people. Let me see what's going on here. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this question now. This isn't really related.
I'm sensitive about my ish.
You said my ish. This is not really related to you, but I wanted to get your perspective on this. So we have Dovey and we have the list. And, you know, the list has been one of those things that have been causing people to just get in their feelings, And so I wanted to know, you know, Dovey has expressed that she doesn't want to be on the list, but she does partake in the beef sector. And the list is comprised of folks who are in the beef sector, whether it's biased or not biased. It's folks of the beef sector. She's in the beef sector. So she got put on the list. And then she said, I don't want to be on the list. And recently, people are now are saying that this is sort of a form of elder abuse. She's saying that she doesn't want to be on there for the reasons that you put her on there for. And she feels a little bit disrespected. Do you feel like this is an example of age discrimination? Bree, you know I had to. And then, I had to. I had to ask this question. I'm just curious about his opinion.
I don't know about your list, Brianna Simone. I only saw one time. I think I looked in there. But what is the list? I mean, isn't the list just making a list of people that you're going to talk about?
Yes.
Make it real clear. Are you familiar with it?
She has different topics for the list, and then each person is voted on based on a nomination list. So publicly, anyone can vote on the list, and then they put you under a category. So like junkie stunt, prayer list, that's that bullshit list. And then they'll put you also for the reason you're on that list. So Roman on the list for, you know, whatever reason, and I might be under junkie stunts. And then, you know, and this is for everyone, age, black, gay, woman, anyone. And so I'm wondering, like, if you were put on the list for a reason that you didn't necessarily want to be put on the list, and you asked Brianna to remove you from the list, and she said, no, I'm putting everyone on the list. Do you think that because you're in a protected class, that this would be considered a form of elder abuse?
Yeah. So I'm barely aware of Dovey. I know she's a relatively new person. I heard she's a funny person, but I haven't taken the time yet to get to know who she is. So it's hard for me to even speak on this subject. But
okay.
This list deal, it seems to me that it is basically what people do anyway. They all come on here and talk about whatever the hell's going on. So they're just giving them a name, you know. So I don't have a strong opinion because I'm not familiar with the list. I'm not familiar with Dovey. If I were her, she's a senior?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
I actually
right. I would say that would be a lack of respect. If I'm asking you, listen, I don't want to be on your list. I don't want to participate. Yeah, that could be considered abusive.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me ask the chat. I'm sorry, chat. Y'all, I be into the conversation so much I forget to ask you all. Let me ask you all. Was this a form of elder abuse? You all hit the poll. I just turned it on. Because I oftentimes feel like there's a lot of people who cry out saying that they don't want to be on the list. Take me off the list. And you know, you
don't get to really choose. I mean, anyway, basically, if somebody's over there reading me, I mean, I would love to tell some of these bitches never to mention my name again, nigga. Shit. But I can't control what they do. I could try to hit them back as hard as I can, or I can choose to ignore them, but I can't control their content.
True.
Right?
True.
So if you're on here with these people, I understand what you're saying, W. You have to understand that as you get older, you expect a level of respect. It's just a natural thing, people. It ain't like somebody's looking for special treatment or anything like that. It's just like when you're with your parents or your grandparents. You don't treat them the same way as you treat some motherfucker in the street. It's just natural. So I think it comes down to lack of respect.
We're going to talk about this later. We're going to get into this later. I don't want to go off topic, but we're going to talk about that later because I have
somebody said, let him answer the questions, Tim. Okay. Okay, Naja. I'm sounding like Jay Wilson. Okay, I'm sorry.
I have a lot. Okay, so now this one, wishing death, don't have a stroke. You know, there's all kinds of forms of people in the beef sector that wish death upon each other. You gonna die, you half dead, bitch, don't have a stroke. Now, when this is specifically said to someone who is older, I'm gonna say this. I absolutely 100% feel like there's a form of discrimination being implied because of the fact that they're older, that they're more closer to having a stroke or something like that. So me, I absolutely do. But I'm curious, how do you feel about this?
I think their mammy should die. Oh, tell your mammy to die. Isn't she a senior? What's the difference? Right? As far as me having a stroke, don't worry about it, people. I've been handling these motherfuckers for my entire life. You know, all the phases of life, being a kid, being raised in the projects, and having to deal with rough kids and all that, single mothers and all that stuff. And then as in the 20s, in the bars, in the clubs, I know how to read and pop my fingers and all that kind of stuff, right? So I've always known how to take care of myself. And when I started messing with drugs and so forth, that was a rough crowd, right? And many times I would lose my temper only because it was necessary for me to express myself. So because I choose to yell, don't worry about my death, honey. They've been predicting my death for 32 years. I've had HIV AIDS for 32 years. And you know what's odd and strange, and I'm not saying anything good about it, but a lot of people who were predicting my death, they're dead. As you get everything after 50, people, trust me, people start going. Whether they're going because they're addicts or they're going because, well, now the whole thing is COVID. But there's all kind of reasons to go, honey. They got so big they could not control the diabetes. All kind of reasons to go. I'm still here. God has allowed me to be here, and I'm going to respect this time. So don't worry about me stroking out. If I feel like I'm gonna stroke out, I know how to click the computer off, just like I clicked it on, honey.
So so just a quick question. So when people are like, when you hear those reads and stuff like he got so worked up, don't have a stroke, you don't get offended by that. It's just
and then they click on to watch it.
Right. Okay.
They click on to watch it, honey. I should fake one time. Girl, I'll do a Mona Simone. No. I should, when they being evil, I should just fake a stroke.
Please.
I should do it. Fuck them. You want a show? Okay. I'll give you a show. How would you like that, honey? Then they're gonna oh, we have to ban him. Oh, he's dead. What do you call it? Cancel Timothy Blaine. He faked his death.
All right, now this next segment we're getting into, I have is reaction versus expectation. Did I freeze?
Your face is frozen, but I still hear your voice. While you're frozen, let me get some more water. I had to get the little bottles because they're easier to carry home. 1 second, let me get some water. And you unfreeze.
Did I freeze?
Okay. Are you unfrozen? Hi, y'all. Hi, chat. Brother is frozen for a moment. Let's see what happened. Hi, viewers of you. This just show how. Well, take your time. Take your time. Okay, this is going to be a long child. I'm sorry, people. I am very expressive. And then I got all these new book sales, right? So I went to the company. They tell me they're going to give me several $100s. I said, well, where the money at? You told me I could go pay me in a couple of days. And I just went on the site and saw that the bank account on my publisher, which the last time I published was over 5 years ago, there was somebody else's bank account on there. So, yeah, I kind of got agitated with the peoples. Mm-hmm.
I'm back. I'm sorry about that. The same issue as last time. Who forgets to plug their laptop, man? Me. All right. So this next segment, it might get a little bit of touchy, but I definitely want to have this conversation with you because I always I'm like, I didn't expect him to react like that, but he did. And so now that I have you, I can ask you, like, was this something that you could have let go, or you are glad that you addressed it and you stood in it? All right, let's go. So these are all from the last 7-8 months. He's chasing a coin. Now, Uncle Tim, the last Run It Back show we did, you were a little bit behind us. And so we were asking about whether or not you were doing something for clicks and views. And you were behind us responding in the chat. And I said, oh, God, he's looking at what we're saying. And you were saying it's all about clicks and views. So here's something I want to ask you your opinion on. Let me see. You all let me know if you can hear it.
What? What do you mean I'm chasing a coin? I spend my time on here. They pay me this bullshit ass coin. Is that what you people call chasing money? I'm serious for a minute here. If you people think coming on here and making these hour-long videos, do you really believe that is chasing a coin? No, chasing that coin is when you're begging for money all the goddamn time, girl. I ain't chasing shit. I'm an old dude, retired. I'm sitting in this apartment by myself all day. So if I can find something that's interesting to me, if I can read a book, if I can watch a movie, if I can come on YouTube, whatever it takes, honey, to fill my day up, girl. That's why I'm doing it. It ain't big about no goddamn coin. And I am certainly not getting no magnificent coin from no goddamn YouTube. Now, I don't know what you...
All right.
Girl,
so here's my question.
She does get a bit excited, honey.
So my question to you is, why were you so upset? If you're not chasing a coin down on here on YouTube, if you're not doing it for clicks and views, if this is just a hobby for you, if this is, why are you upset? Why do you get so upset? What is it? What is the reason?
Why do I get so upset? It is my personality. It is my personality.
Really?
Of course. When I became monetized 4 years ago, for me, that was it. Some of these times, these rants stuff I go cussing people out and stuff like that, it doesn't even get monetized. When I was going off on that idiot, I made 70-something videos of him. Half of them weren't even monetized because I cussed him out so bad, right? That's when they were still demonetizing a lot of stuff, right? And so many of these times, I don't even know. I mean, I never chased how much money I'm getting for this or begging for that and begging for that. Money just not that big an issue for me. They make fun of my Social Security, honey, but it's called security. So all of my bills are paid anyway. I don't go no goddamn where. So why do I need all this money? It's not the same thing with me. I don't have no bills. I don't have no credit cards, honey. It's not that big a deal for me to come on YouTube. I just come on and do my thing. At the end of the month, they pay me what they pay me. Usually, as you can see, I buy a bunch of stuff. It's just shopping money.
So if somebody was to come on and say, "Oh, you're just doing it for clicks and views,"
no, when I'm pissed off, I'm pissed off.
So that'll trigger you.
I don't think it's I ain't no plan. It ain't he's trying to get some money. See, people, y'all been trained. Y'all have been fooled. Since that idiot over there is constantly talking about gonna get a coin from it. I'm gonna get a coin from it. I'm gonna get everything's a coin from it. I'm gonna get a coin. All this shit about money. And then when you look at your analytics, you say, what do it? Try it after this. When you get through with this interview or whatever you call it, go to your analytics. I don't know how long we're going to be on here. Go to your analytics. I bet you ain't getting no more than $20 for this. So if that's what he calls chasing money. See, they make fun of people because they're from the streets and because you're the drug dealer. Oh, you a drug, you did drug. Child, when I think about chasing money, I'm talking about stacks of money. That's chasing money to me. Sitting on here talking for a whole damn hour and getting $16 to me is not chasing money. Now he may think that that's what that is, but no, it's not even a consideration. Whatever at the end of the month, that's when I look at how much money this thing is provided for me, right? I don't need it to pay my bills. A lot of these hoes, they're very jealous of that, right? Why? Because they got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Do your time, and when your time is done, then you'll retire, and then you can sit around, and then you'll be bitching about sitting around. I need something to do. I need some. You know how many people die soon after they retire? They just need something to do. That ain't me, honey. Right? So it is what it is.
Okay. So, but we just know that if somebody says to you, you will be upset. Period. That's just the nature of your.
Somebody says
what
what?
you are.
If somebody says what?
As far as you chasing coins and someone saying that you're doing
no, because it's not true. Because it's not true. Y'all don't recognize what a beggar is. I mean, the ones who beg, they're constantly telling you they don't beg. I hate to keep using the same example, but I'm not in battle with everybody, right? There's usually one or two people that I beef with, right? So I'm focused like a laser on those people. These people who have been constantly begging say they don't beg, right?
Right.
I don't beg, honey. I know what a beggar is. On my birthday, I'll say, send me some money. That's it. Once a year. And then people have been very generous, very kind, but I would never describe myself as somebody who begs. There have been times when I've had no money at all, and I still come and do my same video, no mention of money. I'll just deal with that. That's my responsibility. That is not the responsibility of the people who are watching me, right? When you watch television, are those people they are responsible? You think those people to come on television, child, tell you, "Oh, I'm behind in my mortgage. Oh, the lights are going to be cut." No. You're here to entertain. So do your thing, honey. And then you go back and you figure out a better way to handle your money so that you don't find yourself in that position again. That's it. I am not a beggar. I remember even as a dope fiend, there were times when I would have 20, not before I started selling drugs. When I sold drugs, I made money, right? Before I sold drugs, I was a dope fiend for 5 years. And so there were many times when I need to call my connection. I have $20 in my pocket. The dope costs $20. I would walk 2-3 miles because I didn't want to ask somebody on the street for a quarter. We had the phone booths then, for a quarter to make a call. I couldn't do it. So I would say, no, I'm not a beggar, not under any condition.
All right. So basically the chat, the folks said that you shouldn't have been so upset, but that's just your personality.
But that's what's going to happen over here, honey. That's just it.
You're saying you're made for the beef.
Wrong. If I feel like I'm right and you're wrong, I'm going to let you know how I feel about it.
All right, let's get into this next one. Let's see what this one is. Dumpster diving, Uncle Tim. Now you know this when you hear this, and it's so funny to me because I'm gonna tell you why. I think my expected reaction for you is, oh, you need a new link. My expected reaction is let me share this link. Copied. I'm about to drop it in the chat. Shift insert. Tiago. All right. Because you wrote about it in your books. So right. I assume that by doing that, it was like letting it out to the public for either criticism or to take back from it what you can as constructive for your life. But I'm going to play this example and then we'll talk about it. Tim, you went off now. I ain't going to lie.
You can't read me when you only thing that you retired from is the prison system. Make that shit make sense. You can't read me when all you did was dumpster dive and shoot up meth and watch several partners.
Girl, see, wait a minute. Now you're getting sensitive now, boy. Oh, don't push them buttons, boy.
Die. You never had a husband, bitch.
You covering that hideous face? Yeah, you need to quiet it down, bitch. That's it.
Yes. So why was that a trigger for you? Why, when somebody pivots to that as a read in their read, oh shit, all right now, what about that?
As I just told you, Roman, in the beginning, before I became a drug dealer, before I start actually respecting money or making money, I mean, it's not a great thing because I started going to prison at the same time. But before, there was a period where I was just a regular drug addict, right, on the street. So when I wrote my book was about meth. It was about before meth, what happened to get me on meth, all the circumstances. I was appealing to people in the struggle, honey. When somebody goes to Amazon.com and they put in their search engine, meth monster, guess what comes up, right? I'm talking to people like me. I'm trying to help and inspire people, right? So for me, it would be foolish to talk about crystal methamphetamine without talking about all the elements of. I mean, is it easy? Is it easier to accept people shooting up needles in their neck? Is that easier? What is this big thing about dumpster diving? You see? So, like as I said, and when I first started doing dope, it was just about getting high. And unfortunately, one of the primary side effects of crystal meth, I can look right out my window right now. If I had an easier camera, I would show you. One of the primary side effects of crystal meth is dumpster diving. So how can I write a book about crystal meth without mentioning that, since it's a primary thing? That's how you can tell a person is on meth. If you go out in your neighborhood, I don't know if you live in a big city or a country road, whatever, and you see these filthy people out here, and you see them in their camps with all these bicycle parts and all this stuff, and you wonder, well, damn, if you want to move or leave or the cops come or something, how can you move all that stuff to the next place? Why? It's because of the crystal meth. There is something about that drug that makes people just collect things and they touch everything. So if you're in the store, you see a guy got nice, clean clothes on, whatever, and his hands have got dirt in his fingernails, it's because he's constantly touching things, right? No matter what his economic situation is, if he's doing that particular drug, it's going to make him collect things. It's going to make him dumpster dive. This is not rocket science, people. All you got to do is go around whatever your drug neighborhoods are, and you can see all these people, some of their behavior, and dumpster diving is a part of it. So it would be disingenuous of me to talk about it, because I need my readers to connect with what I'm saying, right?
No, I understand.
Other people who are struggling with meth, other people who are in their life, they understand that completely. These people are still trying to convince themselves that they're better than other people. We weren't thinking about being better than other people. Who give a fuck about other people? We were getting high, honey. And so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. There are certain side effects of using crystal meth. And I think people should be aware of that. So you don't want to be dumpster diving, you don't want to be shooting needles in your arm, and you don't want to be getting fucked by 20 people, then I suggest you don't do crystal meth.
So can I ask you a question? Because a lot of folks in the chat are asking, and if you're comfortable enough sharing with us, please do so. If not, we can move on. What exactly is dumpster diving? Is it actually like literally jumping in dumpsters, or what is it?
Child, people put stuff out all the time. So you go and you find stuff in the dumpsters.
It's literal. It's literal.
Huh?
Okay.
I always got furniture items. Now you might say, well, Timothy, if you didn't have no place to take the furniture, the stuff, why were you doing it? Because obviously that was my personality, right? So when I got hooked on dope, I still maintained that same personality, even though I didn't have nowhere to go or whatever. I was strung out. I was still basically a collector of things, right? So what my partner had to do, because my partner always rescued me, right? That's why I love that man. That was a real love that I had. And I'm grateful to God that at least I experienced it, honey. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. What he would do, he rent me storage units so I could take all this shit that I had collected, right? Because people put things out. San Francisco, I live in a good neighborhood. People put out good shit. Matter of fact, the desk in my bedroom, I found that out on the street. So some people, normal people, they get things off the street. If it looks good, if it's good enough, if you see that the desk you've been wanting and it's sitting right in front of your house, you ain't gonna take it in your house. I mean, would you or would you not? Just leave it there.
If I saw a desk that I wanted on the street, would I pick it up and put it in my car?
If you needed a desk for your computer, this is the desk. I just saw one today, as a matter of fact. Like I said, I live in a good neighborhood. People put out shit all the time, right? If you saw that in front of your house, would you take it into your house, or would you say, no, oh no, I paid for my stuff. I paid for my stuff. The idiocy.
No, I know I wouldn't. I don't have that kind of attitude. Like I don't.
People pick up stuff on the street.
I wanted, yeah, but I would not in COVID, because I'd be too worried about.
Oh, not in COVID. In COVID,
yeah, but prior to COVID, if it was something like that, was like something I want, especially from like the estate sales and stuff, like Kwani is saying down here. Absolutely, I have no problem with that, because I'll wipe it down and send the value up. No, I'm not like that at all. But I do get what you mean.
That's what my dumpster diving was.
I think, and now what I'm looking at the chat, as I'm looking at the chat, and I'm actually going back to when those things were saying and how you were responding. Now I can understand why. Because literally, I'm thinking dumpster diving is just like a term used to call someone like a substance abuser. I didn't know it was a literal act. We're talking about somebody going from dumpster to dumpster. No, I didn't know that. Now I can understand why that reminds you of where I live, the DMV area.
Where?
The DMV area.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And y'all ain't got no drug addicts in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I've never used the term dumpster diving. I call it.
But have you seen the behavior? Have you seen the behavior?
Yeah.
Have you seen the behavior? Right.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing pretty about it, baby. I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know what people want you to dress it up, honey. It's nothing good about being a dope fiend.
My
right?
my family, yeah, I'm absolutely. So I get it. I just wanted to know why it was a trigger, because you've mentioned it before, but you basically just told me it's a trigger because it reminds you of your past, and who wants to go back to that place time and time again and be triggered. So I get it.
Right.
I get it.
I did that when I was a young drug addict, right? So when people try to lock you in now, this is, oh, you dumpster that. That was not the Timothy Blaine that the adult Timothy Blaine. That was the person who was starting to who was on the street. Even though my partner would take me in, I was still basically a homeless person at that time. And that's what we did. It's just a side effect of that drug. If you're in a room with 3 crackheads, what you're going to realize, they're going to excuse themselves to your bathroom, and then you're gonna be in there a long time, and you're gonna bang on the door, and you say, "Come on out, man, come on out. What are you doing in there? What are you doing out?" And when he comes out of the bathroom, he's gonna be on your floor because he's gonna see things in the carpet. He's gonna see pieces of crack in the carpet, even though you don't smoke crack, and there's never been any crack in your house. He's gonna see crack all in the crevices, honey, because that is the side effect of smoking crack cocaine. You got to accept it. You're gonna have another lady. She's over there in the window, and she's peeking out the window, and she keeps saying, "They out there," you know, and you're wondering, well, who the hell's out there? It's just my neighbors, right? But that is a side effect of smoking crack cocaine. All of them have side effects. You're gonna see heroin addicts, and you say, well, God damn, this dude is like this for 4 hours. He's like this for 4 hours, right? That is a side effect of using.
I see that when I'm walking my dog. I'll be like, dang.
It's called nodding. If you're going to do that drug, then you're going to be nodding. Eventually, you're going to end up nodding. You'll be like this.
Are you sleepy or are you just high?
Only thing going to bring you out of it is somebody trying to touch your money. If
are you sleeping?
A heroin addict, huh?
Are you sleeping or are you high?
Lord have mercy. It's called nodding. You're high as hell, honey.
Oh,
you're high.
Okay.
That's what opiates do to you. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one, you've been doxxed. So you've been around on YouTube for a while, and for a while you've been able to successfully escape being, you know, intruded on personally, your information. And well, I don't think as hardcore as everyone else is until, you know, recently in these recent months. So I want to just discuss how you reacted and then how you think then how things unfolded. We'll be able to see this in this clip. So let me know. This one had me laughing. Let me hit the.
So I called this friend of mine first. I said, before I post this this flag, because I'm going to follow this one all the way through, I'm going to see if I can try to get her off of YouTube. I want to do that, not only for myself, but for everybody. She seems to think that there's some amusement in this new doxing thing she's doing, where she's calling agencies and so forth. She thinks fat meat ain't greasy, and I'm going to prove to her that it is. He said, no. You're going about it all wrong. This guy, I live in the Bay Area. He used to work for Google, YouTube. He told me, you're going about this all wrong. You are 63 years old. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go after her for elder abuse, because this is the primary way they define elder abuse. When you start talking about you're going to call the Social Security people and you're going to try to get people thrown out of their apartments, you're going to do all this kind of stuff. He said, this is prime. This is a perfect case for you. So I don't want you to flag her on this silly bullshit on here.
Now, do you feel you overreact? Even your person on the phone told you, no, I don't want you trying to flag her channel. I don't want you doing all of that. You need to take it this route, be less reactionary, and go that route. Do you feel like you overreacted, or you feel like you were justified in wanting to take her channel and go after that route?
Well, the reality is, did I take it? Did I do it?
That's what no, you didn't. No.
There are personalities on here that will have no problem with flagging people, calling the police on people, calling the FBI on people. I did call the FBI. I wanted to be clear, because this person threatened to. I live in an apartment building which has 96 units. Right? They ran off copies of my picture, and they threatened to send these pictures to all of my neighbors, informing them that they had a criminal in there. Like, I'll be the only one. They have a criminal in their midst, right? Or whatever all the disparaging things she's going to say. She's going to now dox my neighbors. What kind of shit was that? So that's why I have to separate from certain people on here, because they know no boundaries. They haven't been taught respect. They have no respect, right? But in my lifetime, I have not been able to call authorities on people. It has always been a struggle of mine. So what happens is, when these people have done something to me, I'll get many emails or people in my comments telling me what to do, how to go for their channel, how to play this game. But the thing is, I'm not going to let somebody else make me who they are. I enjoy being me. I don't snitch. I don't call the police. I don't call the FBI. I don't call the CIA. I don't call people's apartment buildings. I don't do any of this shit. All this doxing stuff, right? So I'm not going to let people change me into something. Let me tell you something. I went to prison 10 times selling drugs, right? Each one of those 10 times, all I had to do was to surrender my connection. If I gave them a bigger person than me, they would let me go. I never did it. Every single time I did my time. You want to dox and check records and all that, you will see that I did my time every single time. I never snitched on nobody, honey. And I have some of the best connections in San Francisco. They never had to worry about that. So they like doing business with me, right? It's a characteristic of who I am. So what I have to do when I see these people who can't control themselves, who enjoy these doxing things, who thinks it's funny to affect people's homes, to affect their lives, affect the way they feed their kids, to affect all of the aspects of a person's life, I have to separate from them. I have no choice because I'm not going to do what they will do. I will become violent, however. I will definitely become violent if I can get to them. But if I can't get to them, to sit up here and argue online with this bullshit, and I know that the next thing they're going to do is be writing letters to all my neighbors. So what I found out was when you write letters and their letters are sent through the United States mail, this is what the FBI told me, and letters are sent through the U.S., you can, honey, that you have sent terrorist threats through the U.S. mail. I could have had that woman arrested if she did that. I don't know if she even did that because, frankly, I don't talk to my neighbors. I mean, there's two of them. They ain't got no letters, so everybody's still smiling. Everybody's still cool here. But just the thought of the threat. If I am not, see, it's okay. I guess it's okay if these doxers want to dox each other, right? Sometimes they fight and they do horrible things to each other. That's fine. But if a person does not dox, that is my position. I haven't done anything to you except talk to you. If you can't talk, why are you on a talking application? Why you got your ass in a beef sector if you can't beef? All you can do is call people, honey. You're in the wrong place.
Right? So if this happened to you again, like say somebody went down this road with you again, do you feel like you'll react the same way?
I'm always gonna be me, honey.
You gonna jump off the porch? You coming off the porch?
If I could get two of them, I'll go and punch them in their goddamn face. If I could have got a hold of that damn Jay Wilson, I would have strangled his ass. That's how you handle your business in the streets, honey.
Oh,
now, even though I'm not in the streets, there are serious hard lessons that I learned out there about respect. When you go to the prison, first thing you're going to learn is about respect because them niggas will cut your goddamn head off because you bumped into them and you didn't say, excuse me. Oh, he dissed me. You got to learn how to respect people.
So the chat wants to know real quick, because you oftentimes use this word, what does it mean when you call folks monster?
Oh, hideous creatures, honey.
Hideous creatures.
You see what I named the book, don't you?
Yes, that's what someone said in the chat. That's the reason you named it.
Was a monster. Meth was a monster. If you behave like a monster, that's what I'm going to call you. Okay. I'm getting
all right. So we're gonna move on to the next one.
Wait a minute. We missed the monsters.
Yo, go ahead. Yeah, tell them they want to know.
Creatures. I consider if you act like a monster, that's what you are. That's what I'm going to call you. I call my books monsters. On the streets, we had meth monsters. We had crack monsters. Actually, the meth monster wasn't when I wrote the book. I created the name for the book, but really that was a term used for crackheads. They called them crack monsters, right? So I said, well, that sounds good. I'll just take it and make it meth monsters, right? But monster is a word that's used a lot, honey. They got monster drinks and they got monster websites and they got monster TV shows, and you just call it a monster and it's just a strong word, right?
So Kwani wants to know, what is a monster to you?
A monster is an evil person. If you have serial killers, usually when they talk about serial killers, they often refer to them as monsters. He became a monster. Life in Interview with the Monster, right? They call them monsters because they do evil things. If you're an evil person, if you take pleasure in someone being outdoors, or you take pleasure in someone losing the custody of their children, then you are a monster, right? There's something missing in you.
All right. Now this one got me. So I definitely wanted to bring this up. Effeminate men are bottoms. And I was
oh, Lord, have mercy, child.
I said, no, no, he didn't respond. No, he didn't say that. So I definitely wanted to bring this up. Let me play your response, your reaction, and then we'll go right into it. DKL, where you at? Where you at? Is it gonna play? Am I playing?
So you know goddamn well everything that's feminine. If it's a male, a dude that's feminine, it doesn't mean that he's a bottom, you dummy.
Miss Day, as I said before, when you got on that stage in front of thousands of people, girl, and bounced and rolled your ass all up in the camera to where the star of the show had to do a second take, girl. She moved out of the way. She said, let that bitch go. Now, I'm sure not one person in her small audience there was thinking, I would love for that guy to fuck me.
I was so taken back.
Now you know
I was offended.
That every person that's feminine is not a bottom, and every motherfucking person that's on masculine shit is not a goddamn top. So you made a statement talking about, oh well, you was talking about Sean. Oh well, we can hear it in your voice and this, that, and that to know you're a bottom. No, dummy. No. There's a lot of fucking masculine, strong masculine men.
Okay.
DL men.
Are you one of those?
Now, my question was this a little homophobic? Like, do you really feel like that? That
was reading, child.
Oh, that was just par for the course.
Well, you call it shade. I call it it was called reading. Of course, not everybody who is effeminate is about. Although I would have to say, I mean, I've been in this gay game a long time.
That's why I said I didn't expect you to react like that.
There are many people who brag about being bottom. There's no shame in being a bottom. And frankly, I don't know if it's all over the world, but in San Francisco, it's very hard to find a top. They're all fighting to get to the top, Sonny, because a lot of, I can't say everybody, a lot of bottoms here, man. And so my experience has been
Wait, you said the bottoms are fighting to get to the top?
They're trying to find a top, honey. So when the top walks into the room, it's like, hi, you know. They're just not, there's a lot more bottoms than tops. People don't want to admit that they're bottoms. They'll say they're versatile, but when you get back to their house, you'll see that there's no reaction really until you touch that asshole. I'm sorry, I know it's rude, but at the moment you touch that thing, boing. So it's okay to be a bottom. I mean, I was arguing with that boy, so I chose to go that route, right? But being a bottom is not unusual. So I'm even amused by the guys who try to pretend that they don't never bottom. I mean, that is really the joy of gay sex, is being on the bottom, honey. Oh, and being her. Henrietta, I used to call him, right? Right. So I mean, listen, my partner, my lover, if you were to look at us as a couple coming into the club, you would assume that he was the bottom, right? He wasn't effeminate, but he was not as masculine as I was, particularly when I was younger. I was what they call trade when I was younger, or I had the appearance of being trade when I was younger, right? But he was wearing that ass out.
There's a question on the screen. Can you answer that?
Oh, that's from Kelly Love. Kelly Love, you've been trying to be nice lately, I see. Maybe it's time for us to squash it. Is Tim a bottom?
I was going to ask that too.
Ooh, business. Ooh, business.
Yes. I want to know.
I don't know why you people feel like you have to tell. I just told you about my experience with my partner. Now, but it's different with different people, right? Because my first lover, I fucked him every single night the whole time we were together for whatever couple of years it was. So it just depends on the person, right? But my partner, and it was so funny though, because I always played bottom with my partner. He liked the top, I liked the bottom at that time in my life. I was in my 20s, I was young, he was older than me. So yeah, he supposed to hit the thing, right? After we broke up, I had come over to where he lived with his sister, right? And I happened to have a key because him and I were very close to with his sister, right? So I still had my key. I went in there and I peeked through the peephole. He was in the bedroom. I peeped through the peephole, and he had this young buck in there tearing that ass up. I said, I'll be damned. I've slipped and been with this motherfucker for 5 years, and you may tell me that he give it to a total stranger? So, I mean, it's just a gay thing, honey. Right?
It is what it is. Okay, so
what it is. People are ashamed of it. What? Be ashamed. I ain't ashamed of shit, really.
So the fact of the matter is you were not being homophobic, and actually you don't think that all effeminate men are bottoms, and you do think that there's a very nice good mix of bottom and top in the individual.
Right. I think the majority are bottoms, or they say versatile. That means they can have sex from the top, but that's not really what they truly prefer. They are bottoms, they're tops by default. If you can't get no trade, right, all you got to do is declare yourself a top. Go on them sex sites y'all go to, the young people go to, child. The moment you change your profile from bottom to top, you'll see that you'll get an immediate response, right?
Yep. No, you're right.
Just the way it is.
All right, y'all. We are at the hour and 20-minute mark. I just want to take a pause. We got one more segment and then we are out. But I just want to make sure everybody is cool. We answering the questions. You all hit the poll. Should he have been upset? Yes. Anybody got any questions? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Kwani saying, "What the fuck?" Uncle Tim, are you good? Are you okay? Are you having fun?
Are you gonna break?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a little break now. I was gonna play a little bit of music.
I'm gonna go tinkle.
Okay, all right. I'm about to play a little break, y'all. We're about to have a little break, so you all go and refill your drinks up. I will. We'll be right back.
Okay. How do I get? Lord have mercy.
We back and we beat. All right, y'all back with us? We still 220 people in the building. Can you all please hit the like? Please hit the like and support me, please. I really do appreciate it, Uncle Tim. I really do appreciate you sticking it out an hour and 23 minutes. You probably don't even have a live this long, so I appreciate the support. I really do, and I hope you enjoying this and it's not getting too messy.
Right. Y'all cash that brother King Roman.
I appreciate the support, y'all.
This is work dealing with these old people.
All right, so this next segment and the last segment is a conversation with Timothy Blaine. So I have a couple of questions, and it's all going to be based upon extreme beefing. And what extreme beefing is anything that comes off of YouTube. So anything that's not in YouTube world that begins to affect someone's life or something like that, I consider that to be extreme beefing. Like you're now you're trying to go too far. So a couple of things have happened recently, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. So let's go. Thank you, Duchess Kelly Love. I appreciate that. Yes. Tracy, thank you. All right. Oh. Court cases, stalking, drive-bys, and calling employers. Which of these do you consider to be the ultimate worst and why?
Court cases, stalking, drive-bys. What's drive-bys? Shooting people?
When you actually pull up to somebody where somebody lives.
Pull up to somebody?
Yep.
Oh, that's hazardous to your health. Right. Okay. Calling employers. Okay. I really have a problem. I mean, they're all bad, but I'd say court cases, you can fight something in court if you choose to do that. Most of these motherfuckers ain't got no money, no matter what they say. So I don't know what you're going to get from it. You know, maybe you can get them banned from you. But calling employer, I have a real problem with these people who feel like they have a right to even discuss your finance, your personal finances for your home, right? So they get so excited when I get pissed off about people somebody gonna call Social Security or even talking about my Social Security. That's not your business. I don't understand this stuff. And maybe it's because I'm an older person. I don't understand this thing where you feel like you can go and talking about someone else's income. I think it's just the strangest thing in the world. So for the idea that you would call somebody, I mean, usually that you're going to call and try to embarrass the person on the job. But what if you call somebody and the manager don't like your ass anyway? Right?
Y'all go vote real quick because I want to bring up what you all think is the top one to Uncle Tim. So go ahead and vote, y'all, real quick. Hit the link in the community wall or in the chat. So you're saying calling employers is actually the worst of all of these?
No, I think they're all, I don't know. Stalking is horrible. Stalking is illegal, actually. And stalking fucking with me would get your head busted open. So they're all bad. But I'm saying trying to affect someone's income. I mean, I think that is still will put your life in jeopardy, because I don't know how people will believe that if I lost my job because you have called my employer. This is part of in my book too. I use this story. You have called my employer and caused me to lose my income. And then because I have no income, I am now in jeopardy of losing my home. Do you think a person wouldn't get on a plane to address somebody like that? I mean, maybe not everybody, or they would do something just as evil and vicious to you. How would a person just accept that? Oh, he called me to lose my job. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. I would never accept that. Not from anybody. If you cause me to lose my income because of some silly ass YouTube shit, girl, I would want to hurt you. And I mean, how much does it cost to fly, really? $100, $200 most places. It's not that big a deal. But if you have really, really done harm to me, another example I use in the book, another story I use in the book, is when somebody has caused someone to lose their children, right? First, they caused them to lose their home. Since they had no home, then they CPS stepped in because they couldn't provide a home for their kids. So they took the kids away. Now, what would that do to a person? Would they just accept that? Okay, whatever, just kids. I'll see you later. Girl, no, honey. You are inviting the devil into your home.
So the chat is basically
Whatever happens to you is your fault. See, some of these people, they don't got nothing worth fighting for. They ain't got no job worth shit, right? So they don't give a fuck about you losing your job. That's a big deal to somebody, especially if somebody got a family or single mothers who I have a certain passion for because I was raised by a single mother.
So the chat is
it's not your goddamn business. I don't know how do people going to make the people understand that it's not their motherfucking business, girl, what somebody's finances are or how they run their goddamn household. Leave people alone. Is that what you bring your ass on YouTube for? Is that really it? I want to go and try to destroy somebody's life. That's why, see, it makes black people look like we're some kind of goddamn lowlifes. That when you go over there, you're going to get ghetto. You're going to get a ghetto reaction. I'm not proud of the goddamn ghetto. Nigga, I'm from the projects. I'm from the projects. That doesn't mean I can't have integrity. So yeah, all that shit pisses me off.
So the chat
pisses me off.
The chat is basically saying that calling employers is the worst among any of these, and I would court cases, stalking, drive-bys, and
calling the police could be added to the list.
You call my employer. I think calling employers. I think a drive-by for me is you coming to where I'm at. I think that to me is the ultimate. Like, you're infringing on a couple of things. You're making me feel unsafe now. So for me, it's the touching, it's the physical touching. Calling my employer is part of the course. I don't have that happen already.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a friend over here named Lucille. They say I live by myself, right? I have his friend lives here. Her name is Lucille. She sleeps right in between my refrigerator and the wall, right by my door. So when they're trying to get away, whack a bitch, motherfucker! What the fuck you think is the name?
And the name is Lucille.
Lucille, honey.
Not Lucille.
Out here,
all right. And we're gonna get into the book too.
I wasn't familiar with drive-by.
I also want you to know we're gonna get into the book. I have questions because I actually did take a glimpse at the book, so I got some questions for you about the book. So we're gonna get into that. Doxing subscribers. So if another content creator in the beef sector dox subscribers from your chat, your favorite subscribers, the one who come all the time, dedicated, how would you respond?
Well, of course, it's totally wrong. It's totally ignorant. It's totally stupid. It's gutter trash is what you are when you do something like that. But what can I do? I can't do nothing to control these damn people. You can yell and holler and scream and cuss them out, talk about their mama and daddy. It ain't gonna make no difference, right? It's a personal thing. What YouTube needs to do is step in. This is what, when they did the show, this is what the woman, the producer, Ty, was telling me. She was saying that, I don't know if this was all just in her head or a tool for her to manipulate, but what she explained was that YouTube is going to do away with the beef sector. They're going to do away with these small sectors that doesn't really bring them any revenue. All they do is come over here and cause trouble and involve the police, right? And so the only way we could stay on YouTube was if we joined the show. That way we would be celebrities, essentially. Now, this might have just been something in her head.
Oh, wow.
But the thing was, the idea, I said, well, the idea makes sense. I'm sure she thought it out. The idea, I mean, why should they even bother with this stuff? If all it's going to do is be worse and worse, every person has to top the other person, do something worse than the other person. Everybody wants to be VS and all that. Like that was a good thing to be. Right?
So I'm just a little bit, so I know that certain beef sector content creators, and I'm going to just say their names, you know, and I know how you feel about them, but I know that like Fi Babe, for example, she's extremely protective of her subscribers. And I think that's one of the reasons why people like being, you know, in her chat or part of Babe Nation, because that form of I got your back if somebody comes after you is there. So I was always curious as to how do other
pimps use. That what you just said is what pimps use.
Did you just say that's what pimps use?
I'm trying to shut up, honey. I'm sorry. I have strong opinions.
Oh my God. Okay, I never thought about it.
Pimps use. A pimp will tell a whore or a prostitute. I'm sorry, I'm not adding it against the ladies, but a pimp will tell a prostitute that I've got your back. I'm going to protect you. They present themselves as her protection. So what sense does that make? I go and I have sex with all these strangers, and then I come back and pay you all the money for protection? What I need protection? I need protection from your ass. Because you're the one that's robbing me, right? But that's a common thing they use, child. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect. What is Fi Babe going to do to anybody? Protect them, honey. Okay. Fi Babe, listen, let me be clear about this. That woman, I know I talk shit about her and all that kind of stuff, and I don't like the things that she did to me. But aside from that, that woman has got enough personality that she could carry a channel easily. I
absolutely agree.
She's trying to feed these people. They're demanding more. They want to see more action, right? Because she has to try to please them. And she feels like pleasing them is giving them drama. She could easily have a channel with all this doxing stuff. She's over there doing that tonight, I saw. You don't need all that, honey. It doesn't take all that. We don't have to drive everything directly into the gutter. We can have self-respect. We can be decent people. We can do all of the things that we do on the outside of YouTube, on YouTube, honey, and still be a decent, respected person. Right? Because what are they going to do to you? After you do
basically, you're saying as a content creator who holds a channel with subscribers that frequent you and adore you and support you financially and all those different things, that if because of their loyalty to you, and I'm asking a real frank question, you don't feel any obligation to protect them, or you don't feel like you can do anything or protect them?
Do to them? I'll attack whoever's attacking them. But all they do is that makes the people just trying to get into the chat, honey. They won't be over here hollering, screaming, having strokes and shit. That's what they want. So we're just giving them what they want. But I can't even conceive of something like that. It's never happened to me where somebody has doxed my subscribers. I haven't experienced something like that. But as I said before, you have to go lower and lower and lower. So what's the next low thing you can come up with? That's why they come up with the idea, I'm going to dox your subscribers, right? Because when you try to hurt people, right? Hurt people. So when you have done all this doxing stuff, you've exposed where I live, and you've given out my address and my phone number, and I can't get a hold to your ass, what's going to happen? I'm going to go lower. What's lower? Now I'm coming for your subscribers. And Fabi got this thing with these subscribers. Well, they just love to go over there. She got 3 or 4 of them. They just love to go over there and give her money, right? So that's her bottom line, honey. So she don't want nothing to interfere with that coin. So it could be an admirable thing if she would do it right. But she feels like she has to go more.
Let me ask the chat. Would you protect?
How you gonna protect them? Explain that to me for a minute. What do you mean by protect them?
Let whatever content creator know that if you dox my subscribers, I'll retaliate in whatever.
So I'll be a doxer then.
Whatever you choose to do.
No, you can't allow these people to turn you into a monster. Right?
Hey, chat, y'all go vote. Y'all go vote and let me know what you would do if you had a channel and someone doxed your subbies that you love, that supported you financially. What would you do? Would you, retaliate? Yes or no? Would you protect them? And I'm curious because I think
be clear about what you mean by protect them and what do you mean by retaliate? Retaliate how? We can't get to these. Some of them live all the way in goddamn New York City. What can you do?
I'll just say retaliate. I'll just say protect or retaliate. Protect or retaliate. Whatever form you feel like you will respond. And honestly, as someone, I don't even have a channel that's like beef sector or where people in my chat got to worry about stuff like that. But I feel like I would have some form of obligation to respond to whatever content creator is singling out people in my chat. I feel like
how the whole thing started. I mean, isn't that how the whole thing? Isn't that the thing between cookie?
But then you create an environment where people don't want to come or drop down because they feel in fear. They are walking in fear that they'll be doxed in your chat. Like I feel like
that's just mental illness, honey. If somebody's going to that extreme, then they're mentally ill. They have taken this chat.
Wow, the chat is saying yes.
I don't know what you want to. How are you going to protect them? Are you going to send them anthrax? I mean, these people don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a goddamn what you say. They don't give a fuck about your family. What makes you think they're going to care? There's something that you're going to do. Ain't nothing you're going to be able to do to protect somebody else. You can't even protect your own ass. I hate this, like it's motherfucking monsters over here who's been stalking me, girl. What can I do about that thing? I mean, I know how I would handle it if I had access to her or it. Nobody enjoys it, honey. So that's why they're going to just drive the beef sector right into the abyss. This thing will cease to exist because at some point, someone's going to take legal action and they're going to draw attention to what goes on in this goddamn sector, right? And they're going to say, what? This is too much. We don't need this kind of heat. We don't need this kind of smoke. Look at all that shit Facebook's going through now. How you going to shut down the fucking Facebook? It's making $1 billion a day, right? Behind these other people's these behaviors. So I think it embarrasses black people, frankly. I do. I don't go over to other channels, but I don't think they do this kind of shit. Now, granted, these gamers, they have their issues with all this, with this what do you call it, flagging? what is this stuff they do? Where they called up the SWAT team, swatting.
So
They have the swatting, but many of those guys who want to SWAT and call these police to show up in people's houses and somebody could be killed, many of those guys are doing time in federal state prison. That's what
so this is probably related to what we talked about earlier, but contacting neighbors or coworkers, but through social media. So they've identified who lives in your building and they reach out to them on Facebook, or they found out, you know, who your boss is.
It's piggish. It is piggish, honey. If that is your character, you need to get some psychiatric help, in my opinion. Why are you going to bother other people to involve them in this shit, to embarrass them in front of their families? People, you know, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on YouTube, everybody's everywhere, right? So all the shit you think you do to people, child, you're actually affecting their relationship with other people. It embarrasses them. It angers them. I'm sure a lot of kids end up crying because they already see how people talk to their mama, right? So just making it worse and worse and worse, like we have no boundaries. No, you have no boundaries. You are a pig, honey. Don't kind of come over and talk about it's the West. That's like at Wilson, like say, oh, that's the beef sector. This is the beef sector. This is the nigga. It ain't the beef sector, it's you.
Okay, so I just want to give you a little temperature check in the chat. Everybody is basically saying you're calm down, Tim.
That's Cameron Carter. He supposed to be my best friend. He called himself. He always talking some smart shit.
The beef specter is supposed to be fun, giggles, and roast, but people in their feelings and take everything personal.
Of course they take it personal. How the hell you gonna not take it personal? Somebody calling some goddamn federal agency on you. How you not take that personal? People don't even you would never come up to a regular person, child, fucking talking about their goddamn income. They say, "Oh, if you didn't have Social Security, you'd be on the street, nigga. If you lost your job, it'd be the same result. It is your income. What the fucking difference does it make where it comes from?"
So
idiots.
So either or, you think either contacting coworkers or neighbors, which one is worse, home or work?
The same.
It's the exact same for me. I don't care about
if I call your sister King Roman, it is no different. It's the same. If I call
my neighbor, I wouldn't care. I would not care at all. If you call my neighbor,
what your relationships are with your neighbors, though.
Fuck, they can go.
Why are you involved in it? People live in my building, honey. Some of them are elderly people. What the fuck is this? Why is he calling my house? What is he doing? I don't know you. I don't know him. He called my house. Girl, that you don't know what the hell kind of effect you're having on people. Are their relationships with their neighbors, with their family, with their co-workers, with their co-workers, with their co-workers. You don't go in invading people's personal life. That is the strangest thing in the goddamn world. I'm sure you would be recommended, girl, to be 5150, bitch, for calling somebody's job, girl, and trying to what able to call them into the office. Well, we got a call today. Well, that's in my book. That's in my book as well. So
yep, we're gonna get to that. Read the book. I'm trying to speed through this now. So
many of these stories I've tackled in there. The same questions you have.
Okay, so why do you hate Jay Wilson? And the real question is this a dislike, or is this a dislike or a hate for YouTube? Like, this isn't a real hate. Is it a real hate?
I cannot stand that bastard. I cannot stand
like him. In real, like outside.
I cannot stand. Listen. There's all kind of black people, right? Not everybody wants the same things in their life. Not everybody has the same background. This fool comes on here night and day trying to convince everybody that they're supposed to have the same standard as him. And he is a failure. He is a failure. To go and get all them goddamn degrees and you are still working 5 jobs to pay your goddamn mortgage. That is a failure. But he constantly wants to put other people down. How many times this nigga talking about my prison record? Like my whole life is all about my prison record. I mean, always trying to put someone else down. I cannot stand that fool. I can't stand him. Always bragging about everything, right? Then he got to talk about my interior design. Girl, this thing. Have you seen Jay Wilson's house? You think that'd be the last thing he'd be talking about is somebody's interior design. But he got to say, oh, you were interior designer. I guess you would. How the fuck you know what the fuck I was, nigga? You don't know a goddamn thing about me, punk. You don't know a motherfucking thing about me. Everything that comes out of your mouth irritates me. He asked me, why do you hate me? Nigga, I hate everything about you. I do. I don't like your personality. I don't like motherfuckers sitting around here in suits, girl, and going on here bothering homeless people, girl. Oh, why you should take those courses and you could be like me. Nobody wants to be like you, nigga. Everybody has their own struggles in life, girl. Life is serious, girl. Everybody don't have the same desires as you. Everybody don't want to be sitting up in some great big old house by themselves, girl, and working 5 and 6 jobs just to try to maintain their girl. That's not my dream. So why does he try to make everybody else's dream gotta be his? And they always kind of point out, oh, you have failures in your life. I would say that if I went to school and got
Uncle Tim,
if I went to school and got 5 motherfucking degrees and I had made nothing of my goddamn life, nigga, you should be running for mayor. The fuck are you talking about? So when you go to your alumni, nigga, when you go to your alumni, girl, what do you tell them that you do? It changes every goddamn 5 weeks.
Okay, so
let's get his name.
Don't go off. Don't go off. I have a question, but don't go off because it came from the chat. Do you think this hate is misguised?
No.
Under jealous or envious?
Jealous of what? I live in San Francisco, honey. That nigga lives in Texas, in the suburbs of Texas, in a big old family house. I have no desire for that, girl. Nothing. There's nothing about that is attractive to me. He think, oh, you bought all that stuff. You must want a bigger house. No, it's got nothing to do with a house. It ain't got nothing to do with a house, motherfucker. Do you understand that people live in cities? My life has got nothing to do with his. I'm not jealous of what? What am I jealous of? Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you go and try to read somebody on the way to work, to go work 8 hours there, and then what? You go eat 5 or 6 sandwiches, and then go to another job, and then you get off that job, and then you go into a goddamn drive an Uber cab for the rest of the night. Miss Thing, please, girl. That ain't nothing that I want. I am retired. You are the one jealous, you silly ass sissy.
You see the comment?
What did it say?
It says, "Why not block and tune him out if you hate him this much?"
I've tried. Welcome to YouTube, honey. Welcome to YouTube. We all got a nemesis. Watch and pay attention.
I didn't know. I really honestly thought that you didn't hate anyone on YouTube, and that it was like a dislike, or it was like, even if it was a hate, it was like a strong, I hate you on YouTube, but not I hate you like, and I really hate you. So you really don't like Jay Wilson. So that's point taken.
I do not like him. I don't like all that bragging. I do not like all that constant trying to put. So I do not like the constant judging. I absolutely do not like all this playing with God and spirituality and the church. I resent him coming on here talking about he's a pastor, child, and ripping all these people up, all the while saying, I never beg. You never see me beg. I never scam. You never see me. Girl, she's having cash appaloozas, bitch. The federal government decided as a recognized scam. I'm making money for the college now. I'm going to raise money for the college. I'll give them half and I'll give me half. I said, well, girl, why would I give you half? Can I just send it to the school? So another scam. He thinks everybody's so goddamn stupid, child. They don't recognize what and why you got to do all this begging? I would think that I'm so goddamn piss poor and I'm the one on Social Security. I'm someone so pitiful, girl. Shouldn't I be the one begging? Why are you begging all the goddamn time, nigga? If the house is too much for you, move the fuck out and live like other single people. It's crazy.
So the chat is saying, and we're all basically, my co-host and me are all saying to get collectively together, if you hated him this much, you wouldn't watch him. And secondly, he's your content. That's why you can't stop watching him.
Is that true? Of course he's my content. Of course he is.
Because it's for clicks and views. Is it for clicks and views? It's for clicks and views.
No, I hate him for real. Shit. Because you're looking in on it doesn't mean I don't hate him any less. I can't stand that boy. I think he's an arrogant, punkless asshole who is so
Duchess Kelly Love.
Wait a minute. Why was he so dishonest that he sat up in that goddamn chair for 2 years? And when he exposed his body a couple of weeks ago, that motherfucker was huge. I mean, that son of a bitch was huge. Oh, I gained a little bit of weight. Girl, you are a candidate for liposuction. When you want to make fun of this Sean Bradley, maybe Sean Bradley was being vain. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But you, Jay Wilson, with that huge ass, expansive ass body of yours, girl, you are a compulsive eater and you would benefit by liposuction or that thing where they take and staple your belly. Since you can't get off of that goddamn chicken, maybe they can staple your belly. So every time you stuff all that greasy stuff in your face, it would just come right through you. Right?
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Having that condition, and you always call me, I'm a drug addict. I'm something less than him. I was successful being a drug addict, nigga. And I'm just sitting on you. I'm just telling you this.
So the other question
is addiction to food. Addiction. Let me say something on one thing. Addiction to food can be just as detrimental to your health as addiction to anything else. Right? So you call me a meth monster, nigga. I ain't did drugs in 20 years. What about you? When was the last time you gorged all that stuff in your mouth, in your face? Just, I mean, a lifetime struggle. You are a compulsive eater, and it's gotten a hold of your ass again. So instead of worrying about me being a drug addict, you worry about you being a compulsive eater, nigga. You need to go to Overeaters Anonymous, and you need to pay. You need to pay. Spend some of that money. Stop wasting that money on trying to buy that boy, and go out there and get yourself some liposuction, nigga, because you need it. You deserve it.
So the last question I wanted to ask was the chat, and basically was saying was you were fine with him for the show. You were able to show up in person and see him in the show. But now after the show, that's completely changed. You won't be able to be in the same room with him ever again.
That was the situation when I went in there. I said, I only asked Ty one question. I said, is Jay Wilson going to be there? I want to be prepared, because if it turns into something violent, I want to know why I'm going to jail. So don't set me up. Let me know, is he going to be there? Right? Okay. So no, when I saw him, it was a gut reaction to him. When I got back, he started talking shit about me again. Talking shit about me again, right? Because it was long, maybe not right now, but as long as that fool came for me to get the kind of reaction that you're getting from me now, that is the only thing that kept him relevant, right? So you just keep on insult. I'm an easy book to read, child. They know what my triggers are, and immediately they come and they push my triggers. So no, I don't have no compassion for him. But for what? You coming over here to push my buttons to see if my reaction to you, so you can get paid, since it's all about money to you. And this obsession with money, everything's for a coin. I'm beefing for dollars. All this tacky ass shit that you would only learn in a trailer some goddamn where. Nigga ain't got no class. I think that's what it is. He ain't got no class, and he's not very intelligent, right? Because if you have 5 degrees, nigga, we should be able to recognize you by your fruit. You should sound like an intelligent person, but you're not. You're just a messy old queen, a messy sissy girl, just like somebody you met on the street. Ooh, girl. Ooh, that'll be next. She's moving slowly towards it.
Okay, so all right, we got our answers there.
Just messy thing. She brought that goddamn stump down in there. She brought her in here. She's the one that discovered the stump thing, right? And sicked her on me, child.
You're giving me another situation. You know you giving me a situation. I can hear it tomorrow. You didn't give him the 15 seconds and stop him from dragging. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I don't even have my sound and stuff all queued up, so I'm trying. Stop Lying TV. We don't want no clips, no nothing up, no nothing. Please don't put nothing up. This is not.
Why can't he get no clips? That's promotion for your show.
I really did want to know whether it was a hate or not, because I don't feel like any content creators hate each other in the beef sector. But what I'm learning through doing this show is that, Roman, you don't know how affected some people have been by other people, whether it's words, whether it's dragging, whether it's calling. So as I'm talking to you, I'm starting to really understand that some of this stuff is till the death of you. And so that's just helping me understand it. I didn't really know that you was about to go like, all the way there. So I'm sorry if I triggered you, but I just really wanted to know what in terms of like, is this a real hate thing? You don't know if it's a real hate thing about
you're in the room with him. You don't know if it's a real hate thing until you're in a room with him.
All right. Tracy, you can do whatever you want to do. You got free reign. Do you consider keeping tab? Now, this is a question. This is very much so double-sided, but I want to know what you think on initial reading of this question. Do you consider keeping tabs on other YouTube content creators and reporting on their personal affairs is cyber stalking? And I don't know why I still don't have a stroke up there. Forgive me, please. But the question is, do you consider keeping tabs on other YouTube content creators and reporting on their personal affairs is cyber stalking. So let's say, for example, you're not beefing with a Jay Dunn, but you happen to watch what's going on Jay Dunn's channel, and you decide to go live one day and talk about some personal details that may be surrounding her, or you may be talking about someone's eviction, or you may be talking about any personal situation around them, and you bring it to your channel without any solicitation, like nobody was bothering you about it. You did that on your own. Do you consider that cyber stalking? And I'm going to put that question over in the poll for the chat.
My situation was Jay Dunn. I mean, there's only so many people over here, right? So I don't have a problem with her. I don't attack her or anything like that. But when she did that thing with Food Junkie, who was no friend of mine, I mean, I had just went off on him the week before. We were not on good terms or anything, right? But I felt so strongly about what she did that I spoke on it. So if a situation comes up and I feel that it's so wrong or is worthy of conversation, then yes, I'm going to speak on it. That's what this sector is. And as a matter of fact, that's what YouTube is. All people are doing are running their mouths about other people. Look at all the people who cover celebrities. All they do, they all up in them people's business. I'm sure they couldn't love it, right? But that's that's what they do. And we do it over here, a condensed form of that. So if it's newsworthy, I'll talk about it. I'll try to be fair in my opinions. But what I said about Jay Dunn is what I felt about that situation. When I had the disagreement with Walter Lee Hampton, which was my very first, I really believed that. I really believed that he was doing something that was wrong. And I spoke on it. I don't just come on here just attacking people. I mean, VSU's just picked me out like she's picking a name out of a phone book and just had it. I just go off on him today. I don't do that. Right? So people will complain about why you always going off on this Jay Wilson kind of thing. But I ain't got nobody else to hate. I don't hate all these people. Right? Nobody else is going to bring any passion for me. So yes, I report on him. That is the nemesis. It is what it is, honey.
So we have a case here. I'm sorry, I was typing in the chat. Stop Lying TV too. I wasn't saying that you couldn't. I was saying that I'm just trying to preface it as it's about Timothy Blaine and not me being messy or anything like that. I just don't want to be involved in it. That's all. So if you do put it up,
wait a minute,
you put it up.
Hold the hell on, honey. How you gonna throw me through the rules and just leave me out of it?
Because it ain't me. Because you said you hate the man. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm very shocked by it. Actually, I really didn't think you did, Uncle Tim. I didn't at all. And I want to get to the book because we're running to 2 hours, and I've been trying my hardest not to keep you so long. I know, but you know, I'll be having questions and stuff, and I'm so glad you're here. You're answering them. And you didn't get, you know, overly offended about it. And the chat, I'm glad y'all sticking it out with me. Seance, how you doing? How you doing? All right, so let's get to murder in the beef sector. So I got my questions for you about it. So my first question is, are you able to tell us who in the beef sector is Shirley, Ralph, and Queen Carol?
Nobody. Nobody's in there. No person on YouTube is in that book. Some of the situations, that the things that we discussed today, most of those situations are in there. People, with as far as calling people and all that kind of stuff, all of that leads up to the conclusions that this killer came to, right? So it is tempting for me because I want to talk about the story, but I can't tell you the crust of it. Basically, they dox people. They go and doing all this shit to each other, and eventually they dox the wrong person, and it caused the destruction of the beef sector.
So they don't have likeness to anyone in the beef sector that you can say or nothing like that. No. Okay.
No. What you're gonna find is there's a writer in the book. This guy on the cover here is represented. He's writing the story that you're reading. Right. There's a writer writing a story about the beef sector, which turns into all this death and so forth. And now what you realize is the explanations and the things that he says in this book that he's writing is actually the book that you're reading.
So they were asking me where you can find the book. You can find, if you go to Amazon.com, search Murder in the Beef Sector, you'll find it. There's two options, paperback and the Kindle option. The paperback option is $12.20. and the Kindle option is $5.99. Now, and the chat has some questions too, so I'm gonna hit some of their questions too. My other question is, did you find it comfortable? Because I was reading I didn't get through the entire thing yet, and I'm going to do a review on my channel of the book. So I'm trying to make sure I don't spoil it for myself. But did you find it easy, hard, or difficult writing in YouTube vernacular? So there were certain areas of the and I took out certain little parts of it. Okay. How dare that bitch? Okay, so this part. How in the hell oh wait, this is America, bitch. Folk allowed to move whenever they fucking feel like it. Fuck you and fuck the stinking bitch who sent you the picture. You supposed to be so damn rich. Maybe you paid somebody. I wouldn't put nothing past your stinking ass. And such and such.
Oh, I wish I could read like that. Oh Lord, my whole life would be so much easier.
Now, was that like an easy thing for you to just like switch into your YouTube character, like down here on YouTube and express and write that way? Or did you find inspiration through other YouTube content creators? It's really
Does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar?
It very much so do sound familiar.
Right. That's the way we talk on here.
It sounds very familiar. I said, I wonder who that is.
Not a specific character. No. This is one person who's friends, who has a YouTube relationship with another person who has had his job taken away. And so this is the banter between the supporters, I guess you would call them. They're content creators, but they have friends, right? So that's the way people talk. You know, when you're writing comes pretty easy for me. Even though I'm dyslexic, I certainly can't read the way you read. I can still tell the story because the story is there. So after the story is done, you can't tell if I was dyslexic or anything else, right? Because when you're writing, you're spending hour after hour after hour on the story, right? So every day I copy and paste it into my reader, and then I just add a little more to the story. So I read it over and over and over again until I have exactly what I want to say. That's why I feel like I write a whole lot better than I speak. Now y'all may say, "Oh, you know how to go off and holler and scream and all that kind of
That's
stuff."
That's why because when I read that, I was like, "Oh, he nailed capturing, some of the commentary down here in the beef sector." I saw that and I was like, "Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting." I have one more question to ask because I know the chat has some questions. So there was this part where you said there were a few tubers who came to the sector in a fluid sort of way. Basically, if they had a beef with somebody, they would show up. Others lived in the sector. Beefing was their only content. Heavenly fit the latter. So my question to you is, what was your way into the beef sector? Was you a fluid sort of a way, or you just lived in the beef sector and you're only beefing for content? Like, where did you fit into this?
My way into the beef sector was Walter Lee Hampton.
And so I
was watching Facebook, and someone had made it a campaign against Walter Lee Hampton because he had exposed someone's HIV status and so forth, right? So I felt very strongly about this. I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with him. I didn't even know there was a beef sector. Nothing like that. Beef sector word even came a year after I got on here, right? So I came and I started expressing my thoughts on him and what I felt like, because apparently Walter has this obsession with HIV. Being that I'm an HIV person, I felt like I should speak up for people like myself, right? And then I found that every video that I came to, I just kept going back to the same person. My first 10 videos on YouTube were all of the same person. It was, so maybe this is a tick in my personality where I tend to lock on to a certain person. But I mean, I don't have no desire to be with him or anything else. But at that time, there were people like Justin J. And I think really he's probably one of the fathers of the beef sector, even though he was never officially in it. But he used to come on here and give these rants about every thought that he had, everything that came across in show business and against our people. I think at the time he was beefing with this person, this makeup person. I forget his name, whatever. But so he was already doing that when I arrived here, right? So after that one person, it went. I mean, all you got to do really to get history on people is just speed past to their first video, and you'll see how they got here. right? So it was that. It was never intentional. They started calling it beef sector later. First, Wally called it the Section 8 sector. And so I got pissed off. I said, well, Wally, what you saying? Everybody over here is stupid. And they all live on Section 8. And then I gave my opinions on that. And if you talk to people back and forth every day, it just grows. I mean, it grew on its own.
So
not no major contributor or anything.
DKL
Right?
asked, did Walter make you a success and give you your subs?
No. I didn't know what a sub was. When I came on here, I had no idea that anybody ever got paid on here. I didn't know what a subscriber was. I just came in and gave my views on him. I was really kind of pissed off because at that time he was making like 30, 40 videos about people with HIV. It was always very negative. I can watch him now. As long as he don't say the word HIV, I can watch him. Right? So it didn't hold on forever with him. It lasted maybe 6 months or something like that. One thing just led to another thing, you know. And I haven't just always beefed with people. I've covered TV shows. I've covered all kinds of things.
I went back into the archives. I did my research. I saw. My final question about the book is, so there's a situation in this book, and it reminded me of another situation. So I'm going to ask you. So the whole thing between Trina and Shirley Simpson, and one of them going...
The dragon. They call her the dragon.
The dragon, right. And they get into their altercation after somebody recorded the audio and played it on their live and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But somebody ends up they get in a confrontation offline. Somebody ends up going to prison, and somebody ends up going to the hospital.
Right.
So my question to you is this the VS situation?
No. VS ain't got nothing to do with my story, honey. As a matter of fact, the writer is explaining to you how he is not using characters, how he feels about using characters in his stories, right? And the only thing they have in common is that they both went to jail. A lot of people go to jail. Hell, I've been to jail. But the situation with those, they fell in love online. They both were lesbian women, and they both lived in the same town. That was the key thing. I try to tell these people all the time, don't be getting into these beefs with people who live close enough to get to you, right? So this girl decides to go and show up on this girl's job, right? And so when she came out of her work, she fucked her up, put her in the hospital. The woman told, I can't tell the whole story, but the woman pressed charges, and she ended up going to prison for 2 years. And that began that beef that was going. You can see why that would, add up to a beef.
So if you all, again, want to go and check the book out, I say give it a read. If you haven't, absolutely. Amazon.com, Murder in the Beef Sector, $12.20 paperback, $5.99 on the Kindle. Definitely give it a read. If you are a content creator, I definitely suggest you doing a review on it and putting your opinion out there. It's definitely some worthy commentary. It gets you right out of that direct beef and into just some commentary about a product. And so give it your honest opinion, and I definitely will be doing the same. And so we are now moving into the final portion of tonight's show, which is game prizes. The subscribers will be able to determine which gag gift will you'll be end up receiving. And so we have, here are the numbers. I'm going to put them on the poll. You all please vote on the poll. Let me edit which I hope you all are sticking what you give. And thank you, Uncle Tim. I appreciate it again. And that's my other question to you. The Uncle Tim reference, does that make you feel any kind of way relative or no, or is you're indifferent?
No, it don't mean anything. They call all the old people Uncle something. There's another Uncle Tim on here.
All right, y'all. Hit the poll with the number you all want. Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Let me not say it. Never mind. Oh, let me take that away. Uncle Tim, while they're doing the voting in the poll, I appreciate you responding and coming on. I thought, I've been getting so many mixed responses about people coming on, seeing different shows and feeling like, oh, it's going to be messy. But I thank you for responding. Your first response is like, oh, yeah, I checked you out. This should be interesting. Like, all right, I'll see what it is.
Please forgive me for my excitement, honey.
And then, so I was like, okay. And then I replied back to you, and I'm like, great, thank you. Oh my God. I was like, oh, like I do everyone. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, thank you so much. And you were like, well, let me know what we're gonna be talking about. Like, aren't you gonna send me some stuff? So I put stuff together and send it to you to give you an idea. And it seemed like you were all for it. So I thank you for that, because it's been like this has been like a really difficult thing. And then now what I have content creators who have, taken it upon themselves to see who I'm having booked on the show, go to those content creators, ask them if they could go live with them before they go live with me to talk about the subject that I've posted on my flyer, just to diminish what I'm doing over here and sort of make me feel like there's no real effort being put behind this. So I've decided to just like no longer share who's coming on after tonight, no longer tell the ideas of the show. And just Wednesday night, we just gonna meet down here and it's gonna be another, topic fun night, because I don't want to be competitive. I'm not mean-hearted.
Why are you being so passive about this thing?
Because I don't know why.
Top line TV do its thing. All of that stuff brings more traffic to your channel. You understand that? Everything that's out there with your name on it brings more traffic to your channel. The point is to be popular, where your numbers will just grow naturally, and you ain't got to be out here chasing numbers, right?
Right. So, okay, let me ask you this question then. So this is great, but this is only one facet of what I want to do here on YouTube. Like eventually, like I have a goal, like my goal would love to be a digital correspondent for like a magazine, like Vibe or a Complex, where they have those news stories that they write about. Then they have their YouTube channel where they have somebody come down and talk about the story and the celebrities and stuff. Right. That's sort of like what I'm more so interested in. I just happen to connect with subscribers in the beef sector, and I put a show together. So I don't want to get it confused. I don't ever want it to be like, oh, he's now a content creator. Let's start, because you're going to get dead meat over here. You're going to be beefing and it's just going to go nowhere. It's going
You're doing fine. Just keep doing But let it happen. Well, I would give you advice. I mean, people don't want to be bothered with advice, but let it happen. You don't know where you're going to be next year, right? This show maybe take off and it'll be the most popular thing you've ever done, right? You don't know what it's going to be. When I started doing reality, I mean, I loved Queen Sugar and I loved Greenleaf and reviewing those kind of things, right? But they never had any numbers, right? Your audience is going to tell you what they want to hear. So if you have a popular show like this, or I know you do crime, your crime show, or you may just want to do more than one thing, whatever.
Yeah.
But at some point, something's going to stand out, and so just let it happen.
Yeah.
Let go and let God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. All right. So the number chosen for you tonight is 1219. Let's see what 1219 is. Oh, let me move the comment. 1219 was, let's see which number that was. 1219 was the bottom one. Love, leave, or lie. So it's a sort of a gag gift. Your gift would have been to choose a co-host, a subby in the chat, to receive a $25 Cash App as a way of saying thank you for joining us tonight. Your gag gift would have been say something. Your drag gift would have been say something nice about Jay Wilson or Phi Babe's way of dragging. And your gag gift is love, leave, or lie. YouTube, Sean Bradley, or Sweeney. Which one of these would you love? Which one of these would you leave? And which one of these would you lie to?
What? Okay, so am I supposed to answer both questions?
Nope, just the love, leave, or lie. So who out of this group would you love?
I love my Sweeney. That's my family.
Who would you leave?
I ain't leaving YouTube, so I have to be sorry, Bradley. You got to go.
And who would you lie to?
Who I got to lie to somebody too? I lie to YouTube. If you give me the numbers, baby, you got to go for those numbers.
I'm glad you was brutally honest. In that order.
Right.
Thank you again.
Those choices. Okay, it's been fun. I enjoy it.
Thank you again.
I never know how excited I get until I watch the replay. Right. So I'm sure I'm going to be embarrassed. Oh my God, girl, sit down.
I just started watching the
That's just the way it
replays.
is.
I normally don't watch the replays. I can't with
Why
the chat.
not? Why are you being so shy about this stuff, man?
Because this is not my. This seems it gets messy when you go into other chats. It ain't nothing about you being a content creator. It all happens when you take your behind after your live into someone else's chat, and the mess
starts. See what they say. You might be able to get something from it. You watch your replay so you can see what you want to do different.
Thank you all. Thank you, Uncle Tim. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye, chat. See y'all later.
Thank you, sir. Uncle Tim is still in the background talking. Wait, are you still?
I'm done, child.
Oh, I was like, are you still in the background? I'm sorry. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, you all. Thank you for joining me. We will be back here next Wednesday for another show. I'm not going to tell y'all who, what, when, where, why, how. Just catch it on the community wall. I appreciate you all. Again, thank you all for getting me to my subscribers and getting me monetized. It wasn't me. It was you all. You watching it. You in the chat. Y'all enjoying it. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, CSI Breeze Chat. We're going to be talking about crimes and all good things there. And then this weekend, I will be doing a crime story live. So I'm not going to tell the time or anything like that. I'm just going to pop up and we just going to do our thing. I've been thinking about hosting a Club Roman, I was going to call it, but like a little party night for us, just the subscribers, where we can just play some music and just go ham and just like, enjoy, the vibe. But I want to think about that a little bit more. And so until next time, deuces.